The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation was established on the premise that Hamas was stealing aid and benefiting from it, and that Israel had to prevent that from happening in order to weaken Hamas. However, we have recently received reports from USAID as well as from Israeli military officials themselves saying that there was never any widespread loss of aid to Hamas. That in fact, under the UN system of UNRWA and the World Food Program and other internationally accredited humanitarian organizations like the World Health Organization, that these were all operating in accordance with humanitarian principles, distributing aid and preventing starvation in Gaza. Instead, the GHF was primarily a PR stunt. It was not intended to prevent starvation. Clearly, as we see with famine and death from starvation rising every day in Gaza, it was just an effort by Israel to take off the pressure after they blocked all aid, all food, all water, all medicine from entering Gaza after March 2nd, again, under this lie that Hamas was stealing aid. So the GHF, again, is operating as it was intended to, which is to take off the pressure, not actually to save Palestinians, because clearly, actually, what the GHF has been doing has been murdering Palestinians. More than 1,000 people have been killed by either American military contractors hired by the GHF or by the IDF, which accompanies the GHF to its 4 distribution sites. Previously, the UN had 400 distribution sites in order to allow vulnerable Palestinians, those who are not strong enough to fight against masses of other starving, desperate people, allowing people to receive aid with some degree of dignity and the ease which is necessary for those who are disabled or old or sick to also be able to access resources. Instead, the 4 distribution sites are intended to help corral Palestinians into smaller and smaller areas of Gaza. At this point, I think it's 88% of Gaza is no longer available to Palestinians. It is held by Israel or otherwise unavailable to them. So what was already one of the most densely populated places in the world is now unimaginably crowded with no resources whatsoever. So the good news is that people are starting to wake up to this. The bad news is that it's simply too late for so many of these children who, even if they were to receive aid now, it's too late for them and they're not going to survive.